Welcome to patch 0.9.5 for Push and Plunder, my take on a roguelite coin pusher. In this devlog, we'll be talking about the last 6 months of development. This episode is also a bit of a life update because, to put it simply, I ran out of personal savings. The demo I made for Steam Next Fest just didn't really get any traction at all. No publisher is interested in this game, and the epic indie pipeline has gone nowhere. One publisher straight up told me, "We don't think you'll be profitable." Originally, I wanted this game to be done in 2025, but I realized that wasn't going to happen in December, so I put out the Elemental Coin patch in early January and took a private contract for remote work. Then I flew to Idaho to meet my friend and fellow YouTuber Daniel Kraft. I started working with him on his incredible projects and have been spending a hell of a lot of my time this year contributing to his visions, and you should absolutely go look at what I've been doing in these videos here. Without him, I would be working a part-time grocery store job. During my time in Idaho, the US government shifted power dynamics, I quit all social media except for YouTube and Blue Sky, and I drank a lot of energy drinks. In fact, I'm still drinking those, and you can check out my shorts. Returning from my trip, I had a renewed sense of direction and purpose. I saw a path clearly for ACP. The work I had done for Daniel had taught me new skills and gave me new perspective and insight in my own work. I spent a week after I got back, charting a path forward for what would become patch 0.9.5. Feedback from the Steam Next Fest demo and the live streams I did of it showed me that I lost players' interest about 10 minutes into a run. This is where most players realize that they've seen just about everything the game has to offer and they mentally check out. So the changes that I make here need to deepen the experience of playing the game to help players feel like they're getting their worth, and most of all have fun. So with this in mind, Step 1. Revamp the wave generator. The wave system we have now is a predefined order of waves that is the exact same experience every time. In the future, this wave system should use a weighted pool to determine what enemy spawns, and instead of a linear order of waves, we should actually have a linear order of pools of waves. Ideally, keeping in mind that this is going to be expanded into some kind of torment / prestige / endless difficulty down the line, where new enemies and challenges will appear as you continue to go up in tiers. Step 2. Revamp the tables. The tables are handcrafted and static currently, and they're great, but I really only think this is a good direction to go in if we have more space to explore. Currently, we're pushing the physical limits of what my computer can do with the thousands of fizz objects that are on the screen. In order to facilitate a feeling of freshness and keep the player interested for longer, the board should probably be made up of several different layers. These layers could, and probably should, swap out over time to keep the board from growing stale. Sometimes events should spawn instead of a standard layer as well, giving the player an opportunity to interact with the board in novel and interesting ways that provide bonuses to the main game loops. Step 3. Music system overhaul. Put simply, the music system is trash. It's imported from a previous project and it doesn't do anything more than just play a track on a loop forever. So scrapping this entirely, the new music system should be able to play different layers of music and mix them randomly over time, similar to how other games do their infinite music system. The result is a somewhat unique musical experience that is slightly different every time you play. In one run, it might sound like, and in another run, it might sound like. Step 4. Redesign the controls. Players hated that you moved by aiming the mouse. They want to move left while aiming right, and I disagreed with this at first, but I realized that the players are correct and this actually needs to be done. In addition, I took another look at the camera and made some adjustments that allow the camera to pan into the board, taking on a more vertical aspect of gameplay. Step 5. Enemy revamp. The enemies are simple, and there just isn't depth here. They hop, and some of them hop faster, so let's add a charger that dashes forward and pushes some coins around, and a sniper that sits still, tracks your location, and then fires a really fast shot that's hard to dodge. And you know what? Since we're doing a shoot system, you might as well just add a burst shooter that fires 3 shots, and a simple shooter that just fires one to round it all out. After this, let's add a floater that ignores the board entirely and drifts down until it falls off the end. We're not done yet. Let's go ahead and add a special enemy type, Aura Givers. These auras create an AoE that provides a different effect to the other baubles that are inside of it, like healing, damage mitigation, or armor regen. And if you follow me on Blue Sky, you already saw that I also made a mimic. Step 6. Redesign the classes and perks. A class right now has 3 perk lines and 1 active ability. I wanted to keep the game simple originally, but I've since realized that the games I've been taking inspiration from have a couple dozen active abilities and weapons, and 4 to 8 of them are on screen at any given time. The part of the reason that players are walking away from my game is that they aren't being given any meaningful choices to make about their character as they level up. So to fix this, we'll be taking each class and we're going to add 2 new class features to them. For the Knight, the original Goliath Shot active ability has been replaced with a passive variant that has a chance to embiggen any coin that the Knight fires. His other passive, Knight Shield, will provide a physical barrier that prevents enemy baubles from falling off the end of the board. But this shield does eventually break, so don't rely on it too much. Both of these class features have perk trees that allow you to pick and choose the best upgrades for your playstyle, equipment, and other perks. Replacing the active ability is the new Spike Ball Shot, which is pretty much exactly what you think it is. The Knight shoots a big spiky flail-type ball, and it absolutely wrecks the board. The other 2 classes we'll talk about later because they're not ready yet. Step 7. UI/UX redesign. The UI has been a gigantic monster standing behind me for months and months. Every time I added something new to the game, that monster got a little stronger. Well, it's time to face my fears and fix it. And so for this step, we're going to go through every single screen in the game and reimagine the entire interface, from sprites to colors, all the way down to how it feels to navigate with a controller. Step 8. Remake the content. Before this rework, I had begun on 2 additional levels. These 2 levels will need just as much rework and redesign and re-implementation as the single level crash course that I've done already. This step will include enemies, board layers, music, events, and so much minor tweaking and polishing. Step 9. Content, content, content. With around 60 to 80% of the game's core systems revamped and revitalized, all that will be left to do is to give the player something to chew on. Enemies, equipment, perks, boards, classes, challenges, upgrades, unlocks. I need to actually make the game. As they say, the last 10% is 90% of the work. Step 10. Rebrand and release an updated demo. A piece of feedback that I've received quite often was that ACP, Action Coin Pusher, is a bad name. I personally love this name because an Action Coin Pusher is exactly what this game is. But after months and months of thinking and debating, I decided to rebrand the game as Push and Plunder. As such, the old Steam demo has been removed, and a new Steam demo will be dropping sometime later this year with all of the updates. And that's the plan. You'll be happy to know that I am just about done with Step 7, the UI rework, and I'm just about ready to start remaking the other 2 levels, which I haven't even shown off to you guys yet. There are no full patch notes because the patch isn't done, but you can wishlist the game on Steam or follow the community page on Steam if you want to stay informed. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have fun. The player something to chew on. Motorcycle driving by.